Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. We're thrilled to have you here. Today's session is all about bringing AI to the front line and how new tools like AI Digest and our new AI assistant, Ella, are making frontline teams faster, more informed, and ultimately more efficient. And a bonus, just by joining us, you are getting access to 2 months of these AI features completely free, starting today. So to start the process, go ahead and take 5 seconds to send an email to ai@zello.com. All of this information will also be included in a follow-up email you'll receive from Zello. We're kicking things off with a quick video that shares Zello's bold vision for the future of frontline work and how AI is a game changer for the teams who keep the world running. Let's take a look.
More than 2 billion frontline workers keep the world moving. Hands in motion, feet on the ground, voices guiding every step. They talk to each other to get things done, ask for help, and stay connected. For over a century, those voices traveled over static-filled radio waves, leaving behind no record or memory, and all too often, being met with silence. Leaders left in the dark, workers stranded without answers. But we can do better. What if every conversation was more than a moment and became a source of intelligence, a record of where things stalled, where they soared, and where one move could change the outcome? What if every question sparked a reply, not just an answer, but insight in context, delivered when needed, not a second too late? What if guidance came before the ask? Alerts before breakdowns, reminders before missteps, surfacing what matters before there's a problem. Leaders gaining foresight, workers gaining confidence. This is the future Zello is building, where voice becomes data that grants clarity, and the wisdom of your organization becomes a voice on the front line. Today, that future comes into focus. AI digests cut through the noise, highlighting what was said, what was missed, and what demands your attention. Your AI assistant, Ella, supports your team wherever they are, delivering answers and nudges that keep work moving forward. Because when your front line is heard clearly, understood deeply, and supported proactively, your entire organization moves forward. That's the power of voice, amplified by AI and already in your hands with Zello.
Awesome. Well, you guys know better than anybody that frontline teams are under pressure like never before. I mean, there's high turnover, shifting priorities, constant demands. And while everything moves really fast, communication has to be clear. And that's where we think AI comes in. With the right tools, your team can get instant insights, immediate answers, and real-time support, and they don't ever have to stop their work. So let's go ahead and take a moment to introduce our speakers today. First, I'd like to introduce Nayeli Cortina, our Vice President of Product, Jesse Montero, our AI Product Manager, who leads all things AI at Zello, Jen from our Customer Success team to share real-world impact and use cases, and I'm Christy, your host and moderator for today. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Nayeli, tell us more about the vision behind Zello's AI tools and what's possible for frontline teams.
Sure, Christy. And thank you all for joining us today. I wanted to start actually by reminding everyone what the Zello mission is. And this is really the reason we're here today, the reason I'm so excited to work at Zello and the rest of us are excited to work at Zello. And our mission is to connect frontline workers, empowering them to be safer, more productive, and happier at work. So to fulfill this mission, we've been working for years and years to bring you the most real-time, most reliable communications platform, and that work continues. However, because of technology accelerating so quickly, really beyond human pace at this point, we're evolving as a company. And at Zello, we're envisioning now a future where frontline workers are empowered not just by human connection and human communication, but also by instant intelligence. And so I want to share today how we're doing that in 2025. And I think we have 3 major opportunities that we'll be able to address. The first one is effortlessly accepting information frontline workers need through the communications that they're already used to. So they're used to live voice, and they'll be able to do this with AI as well. So they'll be able to use their voice to ask questions, and we're making this vision a reality by Ella, our new AI assistant, which she'll be able to enable instant answers, guidance, and support right when it's needed most. Our second opportunity is turning conversations into actionable intelligence. So we have a message vault today that records one-on-one messages, channel messages, everything that's going on through Zello. And this is a powerful foundation for insight. Today, we'll be able to start looking beyond tracking conversations and unlock patterns for you. What issues are frontline workers encountering most often? How long does it take to resolve them? Where can operations be optimized? These answers were probably hard to access in the past, but now we'll be able to surface those to you and help you change your organization and how they operate and learn. So that's exciting. And then the last one is being able to empower customers through AI. So we have a functionality called our Zello kiosk, which connects frontline workers to customers directly. So customers can ask for help directly. And we want to extend this functionality beyond person-to-person communications. So the kiosk can now be a bridge between customers and AI. This will enable customers with faster responses and better service than ever before. Let's take a deeper dive into our AI assistant, Ella. Ella is a new Zello contact. It's going to be where all your contacts are, but this one's going to be powered by AI. And we built it to empower frontline workers to give them instant access to important information without really needing to pause their workflow. They can use their live voice. They can push the talk button like they're used to. And Ella is also able to transcribe all of their answers for easy reference. So they'll hear Ella responding to their questions. They'll be able to read Ella responses also, as well. And although we think voice would be the best way to communicate if you're busy with your hands as a frontline worker, you can also text her. So she'll be able to receive voice or text. This information Ella has access to is uploaded by administrators in your organizations. That can include policies, training guides, and other resources like PDF docs or text formats. So anything that's uploaded to Ella, if you question her, she'll have the answer to, and she'll be able to give you this answer in real time. I wanted to also talk about why we built her. What are the challenges that we were looking at? And these are the challenges that you've shared with us. We know that managers or workers are constantly being overwhelmed with interruptions of questions that might be repetitive, that they've asked before, maybe even the same day. These could be answered very easily if they just have access to this information at their fingertips. Another thing is high employee turnover and ongoing operational changes. These make training nearly impossible. It's really hard to have your organization trained every single day when you have someone new, or potentially new advances are happening and you have to keep them up to speed. So we think that this is another challenge that is just very difficult to address. And then the last one is just overall customer satisfaction. This hinges on speed, accuracy, responsiveness, right? If someone asks you a question, you want to be able to answer that quickly so that you can move them to the checkout, or you can move them quickly to the deliveries, for example. So this is something that we know is an issue and that we're trying to address with Ella. Now, Ella is going to be able to help because, as previously mentioned, we are able to answer any questions that they might have. If those documents have training information, right, they're going to now have on-demand training, basically. They're going to be able to get these instant answers for these documents, and excuse me, they'll be able to support these new on-demand training capabilities that really in the past was needed to be a person that had to be there, just really available at all times, which is impossible. In our demo that we're going to show you, we want to essentially show you this manufacturing plant and how they've uploaded their training guides. So Ella's assisting with training and on-the-job support in this manufacturing plant that we've set up for you. Let me show you how this works.
Hey Ella, what are a few things you can help me with?
I can help you find information on safety procedures, OSHA compliance, proper safety signage, and general worksite safety practices. I also support with topics like personal protective equipment, emergency action plans, and maintenance guidelines for equipment. If you have a specific question or need guidance, just let me know.
Thanks. What are the top 3 checklist items for job site safety?
The top 3 checklist items for job site safety are ensuring emergency procedures and phone numbers are posted, making sure personal protective equipment is used and in good condition, and keeping walkways and work areas clear of material and debris. These steps help address emergency readiness, worker protection, and hazard prevention.
That's great. What are some of our company's policies surrounding forklift operations?
Our company's policies on forklift operations require that only properly trained and OSHA certified operators use forklifts with refresher training provided regularly. Forklifts must be operated with attention to terrain and weight limits. Walkways must be clearly marked. Pedestrian and forklift zones should be separated, and high visibility clothing is required. Regular maintenance checks are mandatory, and accidents involving forklifts must be addressed with established procedures and prompt reporting.
Awesome. So that was a demo. As you can see, she's answering these questions that might come in handy for when operating lots of materials or machines in the manufacturing environment. So that's one way. Of course, if you upload anything else, it'll answer those questions. In the long term, what we're looking to do is we want her to be able to tap into any relevant source of information. So these are all static documentations that she's reading off of today. But in the future, it could be real-time inventory that you plug into, or shift schedules, or company policies, safety protocols that might be changing more quickly, flight schedules even. So not just documents, that's in the long term. And I'm really excited about being able to have even more up-to-date information on the hands of frontline workers. I am now going to hand it off to Jessie, who is going to go in depth into our AI Digest feature. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Natalie. It's great to hear how Ella can impact our frontline teams already. Up next, I'm excited to share another game changer that's designed to save leaders time and surface critical insights. I'm Jessie, the AI product manager at Zello, and today I get to introduce to you AI Digests, which is a really exciting feature that we've been building that turns your busiest Zello channels into clear, concise, and actionable summaries. First, I'd like to start by sharing what challenges really inspired us to build AI Digest. So, as many of you know, your frontline channels can generate hundreds of voice messages every single day, covering stuff like safety checks, shift handoffs, equipment alerts, and urgent customer questions. It's nearly impossible to catch these critical updates in real time. Additionally, key insights from these messages are likely buried across all of these channels. So without any sort of centralized overview, you can't easily see which issues are constantly recurring, whether or not they've even been resolved, or where other bottlenecks could even be forming. And finally, without any sort of consolidated summary, it's very likely that leaders are often only spotting emerging problems after they've already impacted operations, which really limits the window for any sort of proactive intervention. And this is exactly where AI Digest aims to make the difference. So each digest converts your daily chatter from your channels into a single actionable summary that's delivered straight into your inbox. With a quick glance, you can skip the time-consuming message playback and jump right into the most important key takeaways. Digest can surface patterns like repeated equipment issues or team slowdowns, and ultimately, this means that you can respond faster, allocate your resources smarter, and lead with more confidence. Now, if you take a look at your inbox, I actually went ahead and sent a sample AI digest to each one of you. This digest is specific to each one of your industries, but I will caveat that this is just a sample digest and it's not using any real customer data. So if you take a look at your inbox, you might have seen it pop up already, and let's review it together. Awesome. So you might have seen that when the email gets delivered to your inbox, it will come from our Zello email, and the subject line will include your network name so you can easily spot it. When you open the email, you'll see the data of the digest right at the top, along with the title of your digest. Then you'll have sort of a high level overview of everything that was captured from your selected channels. And below that, the digest breaks down into different, more detailed sections about what happened, when it happened, if any issues were identified and resolved or not, and any next steps that you can act on immediately. So instead of you having to dig through hours of channel conversation, everything you need to know lands straight in your inbox, clean, organized, and ready to help you drive decisions. So all of this is really exciting, and AI Digest is really only the beginning for frontline management. We're exploring powerful new ways to help frontline leaders go beyond daily summaries by giving them deeper insights, smarter tools, and just more control over their operations. And as we continue to shape this vision, we would love for your input. Your feedback is key to helping us shape our roadmap. It ensures that we're really focusing on what matters most to you and your teams. Together, our goal is really to turn these voice communications into actionable intelligence, empowering faster, smarter decisions on the front lines. I cannot wait for you guys all to try AI Digest for yourself. And with that, I'll hand it back to Christy. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Jesse. It's going to be interesting to find out which tool is more exciting for those of you who are viewing and watching with us today, whether it's AI Digest or Ella. Well, with that, because Jesse mentioned our customers, we think it's really important to keep the focus there, how it's impacting you. So I'd love to turn it over to Jen, who can give us some real world examples and benefits that we've already heard.
Thanks, Christy. And hey, y'all, I am Jen from the customer success team here at Zello. And I'm lucky enough to work with the teams who rely on Zello every single day. And I'm excited to show you how Ella and AI Digest are transforming the way that these organizations communicate. First, let's talk aviation. So operations teams are dealing with hundreds of updates daily. So think maintenance alerts to gate changes to weather impacts. AI Digest can help airport operations leaders identify emerging issues like repeated tug delays or cleaning crew bottlenecks before they actually start to impact flight schedules. Meanwhile, Ella can guide new ramp agents through pushback procedures or equipment checks without needing to radio in for help or verbal confirmation. Another great example is construction or materials handling businesses. So they usually manage multiple job sites across a large metro area, and they can use Zella to improve how crews access critical safety information. So, like you saw in the previous demo, users could ask Ella things like, what are the PPE requirements for this specific task? Or what's the load limit for the crane on lot B? And instead of flipping through paper manuals or waiting for a response from somebody at HQ, for example, they can get instant, accurate answers, helping reduce downtime and improve safety compliance in the process. And it's not just for aviation or construction. So think of any high stakes, fast moving environment, whether that's a warehouse or distribution center, a hotel, or even a retail environment. Our AI tools offer leaders visibility into what's working, what's not, where to intervene, and can even deliver timely and accurate responses to workers right where the work is happening. We recently heard from Doug Newman at Tasty Fresh, who told us, I've stepped back from the day-to-day support. Some days I'm not listening to our channels at all. AI Digest helped me stay across what my team has been dealing with and watch for trends or developing issues. From a management perspective, it's a quick way of catching up on the day. And this is the exact kind of impact we hope every Zello customer walks away with this experience, which is more awareness, less noise, and faster, better decisions. And the best part is there's no complicated setup. So you can start using these tools with minimal technical lift and have an immediate impact on your organization. And we're so excited to see how you guys put Ella and AI Digest to work. So if you have a specific use case that you'd like to explore or a specific challenge that you want help solving, we definitely want to hear about it. So please don't be shy. Back to you, Christy.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Jen. So let's do a quick recap of what you guys have seen today. So AI Digest give you that clear summary of team communications so you can spot issues and take action faster. Ella, the AI voice assistant, delivers instant answers from your knowledge base, keeping your team productive and informed. And most importantly, why a lot of you are watching, is your 2 free months start today. You get those features to try for yourself. So if you didn't do it at the beginning, here's your chance to take 5 seconds again and email us at ai@zello.com to get started. Thanks again for spending time with us today. We can't wait to hear what your team thinks. Have a great day.